The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaraya Productions. Hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 69.3.
69.3.
Part 3.
More 69er.
Mm-hmm.
More O's.
More O's. Yay.
The last episode.
Last episode of
Try
O's.
that again.
Okay.
Last episode of O's.
There you go. You got there. Today, we got our final episode of OOO Month. 2 movies. O's, Den-O, All Riders, Let's Go Kamen Riders, and Kamen Rider O's Wonderful, the Shogun, and the 21 Core Medals. Let's start with the Den-O movie.
It was hilarious because I really don't remember either one of these movies.
I remember the 21 Core Medals movie more than the Den-O movie.
Only reason I remember that is because of that one scene. But let's talk about this one. I don't remember this movie.
I remember that one scene and the introduction of a new combo.
The introduction. So, anywho, we begin this movie. So, Kamen Rider O's, he's fighting an Imogene. The Den Liner shows up and he says, "Hey, I'm Den-O. This movie's about me now."
This is the last time that superhero Titan still after this.
Yeah. But anyway, we get into the plot's not very interesting, so I'm just going to skim over it. Basically, it involves time travel. We go back in time, back to the past, to 1971.
But is it bigger on the inside than it is on the outside?
Skipping that. Yeah, going back to 1970.
I'm going to go ahead and say no. The train always seems pretty proportionate.
Okay.
Also,
not as cool.
I just want to say that this is they recycled this plot, and they did it better during Drive.
Oh, did they? Because I haven't seen any of the Drive stuff, so...
Yeah, you did. We watched GP.
I didn't watch that.
You were in that episode, I think.
No.
Weren't you?
Nope.
No.
I was not there.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah, but this is a recycled plot.
Yeah.
And this is done better in the Drive movie.
I don't think this movie... I know on our best Kamen Rider movies, this was on there, and I think that was...
I don't think it was.
It was.
Was it?
It was.
It was one of our best Kamen Rider movies?
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think it was.
And it was mostly due to my insistence, because I think I remember liking this movie a lot more than I did.
How about now?
It's okay. It's okay. It's not a terrible movie, not a great one either.
Okay.
But one of my favorite things about this movie is that the plot happens just because Ankh is a douche and refuses to listen. So they get picked up in the Den Liner. They go back in time. They take them back in time for some reason, and then Ankh is like, "Oh, I'm gonna go outside." Ankh goes outside. Shenanigans ensue. During a fight, AG lands on him. One of his medals flies out. A Shocker minion gets a hold of the medal, and then Shocker then takes over the world using that medal.
A cell medal.
Yes.
Not a core one.
Yes.
Doesn't matter, still stupid.
It is stupid, but at the same time, I also found it really funny. Just the fact that Ankh is just such a douche through this whole movie. He refuses to listen to anyone. They're like, no, Ankh, don't do that, or bad things will happen, like this. And he's like, I don't care. And then he just does it anyway.
I don't remember which movie poster this one is, but there were... we did have... Because I'm at the best...
It's a one.
Yeah, it was number 6 on our best Kamen Rider movies list.
Why? This is your fault.
It was all my fault. I know this. I know this to be true. But that's the thing about opinions. They're subject to change.
We're going to have to go back and redo this list.
Yeah, but...
mostly so we can each give a separate list on it.
Yeah.
Because I know our opinions differ. Example, this movie being on the initial one.
That's okay.
I think they're all kind of bad, honestly.
I don't blame you. But anyway, long story short, lots of time travel happens. There's a plot involving some children. One of the kids from the past turns out to be a kid from the future's father, which I actually thought was kind of a nice little plot that they had going on, and the reveal I liked. I thought this movie was okay. All the writers... seeing them all fight each other, or fight, Shocker in the end.
It basically just changes history where the writers turn out to be evil.
Yeah, Kamen Rider Ichigo and Nigo are evil now.
And then they go back and fix history, and Decade actually doesn't take over this movie, which is like the only time. Which was a
refreshing change.
This is the only time he doesn't do it, because this is Den-O's movie.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only time you won't see Decade take over a movie.
Well,
hell, Decade almost took over Jenga when they were filming that.
Sorry, I got lost on our channel.
This was the movie that was done as the celebration of the 40th anniversary of the Kamen Rider franchise.
Which I felt sort of off about because I watched Forza before this, and that's the 40th anniversary show.
That's the 40th anniversary series. This is the 40th anniversary movie.
Yeah, and this is not a good anniversary movie.
Welcome to semantics. But it was an okay movie. The Deus Ex Machina bullshit form always gets at the end. It was really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's movie forms in general, though.
Well, there are some good movie forms.
They're all kind of dumb.
And then they get all these they have to fight the big
giant CGI monster.
They have to fight a big CGI monster.
Well, I mean, this is
which they all do.
Like I was just trying to say, there are some good movie forms. Like, wasn't Forza Fusion a movie form?
Yeah, Forza and his Rocket States.
And his Rocket States. So those are decent movie forms. This one, well, first of all, you tried to incorporate Momotaros, which was your biggest
choice.
Yeah, let's go with that one. I was going to say mistake.
Choices.
I understand like a die shocker medal, but why Momotaros? Why?
Because Dow.
And also, little did we know, it was just those shoulders were just a hint of what's to come in Zeo.
Oh, yeah.
So many pauldrons. I can't see through all the pauldrons.
And then we get all of these other riders who are like, hey, you can't beat them, but all these other riders can come and help. And then they use all their motorcycles to just Jerome.
They Jerome in the shape of a 40.
Yes! Yeah.
So dumb.
That's the thing that happens, folks.
Marcus is not amused.
I don't like this movie. Although a lot of this movie is just like, compiled with my dislike of the show. But yeah, this movie is just, wow.
A hot dumpster fire?
You exist.
This movie certainly exists. I think this movie's okay.
It's not terrible, but it's...
There are definitely better.
There are definitely better.
But there are also definitely
worse.
Remember the Blade movie?
Nope.
There's a reason for that, but Matt and I reviewed it.
I know.
Moving on.
That was a 5-minute review.
Oh, yeah.
Because fuck that movie.
That was our shortest review to date, which is fuck this movie. Fuck this movie. It was shorter than Winspector.
I know.
Which is saying something. Because that was a 9-minute review.
It was awful.
Second movie.
All right. Before we go on to the second movie, I have a hashtag shameless plug.
Okay. What is it?
For anybody who's watching this, please go watch the Nerd in Denial discussion stream tomorrow. Or today, because this comes out on Sunday.
Comes up on Sunday.
Tonight, Jacob will be joining us. We're going to be discussing Aquaman. We're going to be discussing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Woo!
And we're going to be discussing the Seven Deadly Sins movie for those who have watched it. Unfortunately, Jacob did without watching the show, so this should be fun. But hashtag shameless plug, Nerd in Denial, twitch.tv/NerdInDenial226. Moving on.
Please be there. Anywho, Kamen Rider OOO's Wonderful the Movie, Shogun, and the 21 Core Medals. I found out something very interesting about this movie.
Dude, it's bad?
No.
Shut the fuck up, Mike.
I actually like this movie.
I don't mind this movie.
It's the highest grossing Kamen Rider movie.
How much did it make?
$22 million.
22 million?
Yeah.
In American?
Yeah, converting yen to dollars. Box Office Mojo, the stats go back to 2002, but of the ones that are on there for like the top 100 or so movies for that year, yeah, this was the highest one, 22 million.
I wonder how
which I find to be pretty surprising. This came out the same year as the one we just discussed, and also the OOO's Forza.
Close
movie.
enough.
I mean, hey, you could say it that way. Came out the same year as those two. Yeah, this made more money than both of those.
I wonder how much the Zeo Build movie is making, because it was number one at the box office for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Made over like 1 billion yen first weekend.
Wow.
So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, this movie though.
I like this movie. It has good things in it, and that is a good thing.
Care to extrapolate on that? Or
I would. I like the whole like dimension swapping aspect that goes on. So Kosei Kogami, he's doing a expedition in Germany, going on a safari dig of some sort, archaeological dig, and they find the resting place of these legendary lost medals. Magic happens, and we get
as it.
I gotta say the effect of how the dimensions like interlink, or like how the time whatever it was interlinks, is like really cool. The way it cuts out the shape of a metal and the world literally flips, goes up in the air, flips, and then comes back down.
No, that is from a design.
That's cool.
Yeah, from a design perspective, that is very cool.
So yeah, they go. Eiji and Hina get sent back to this
Sengoku period.
Yeah, they go back to the Sengoku period
because there is no other period in the past.
Because there's no other period in Japan.
And there's no other.
At least according to popular culture.
It's Sengoku for a bajillion years, and then the next day they discovered technology and it was just modern from that point on. There was no in between.
Exactly what happened.
There was no in between.
And
Rurouni Kenshin was in there somewhere.
No, I was about to say, let's hear Rurouni Kenshin. Then that happens.
It started with Rurouni Kenshin, and then it was just like
guns, and then skyscrapers.
And then we got our another
fucking hell
movie exclusive form.
Or Inuyasha.
We do
with Burakawani.
I like this form.
I like this form.
I like that we got a form based on reptiles.
I like that they added it in Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a fun thing to play.
Because it was snake, turtle, alligator.
Yeah, cobra, tortoise, alligator. Yeah,
which I thought was I like how they introduced reptiles, and I thought it was a very cool design. You got the snake charming bit, the crocodile kicking legs, and the tortoise shield arms, which Again, this is why I like O's ingenuity.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
and they've released every single metal set, including some others that they haven't over the past few years. They released a black metal set from the one with Zed from Tokucast. They released that as an actual color set.
Cool.
This movie.
This movie.
But,
yeah, blah, 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 fighting metals, blah, 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 fighting magic, blah, blah, blah.
The bad guy's name is who? Kujaku. Daigo. Gara! The bad guy's name is Gara.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, every single time they said that name, I immediately thought of her. And I miss her, the actress.
Mm.
I miss her being in things. After seeing her in both Die Ranger, Live Band, that one episode of O Ranger, which we don't talk about, I miss seeing that actress in things. Anyway.
Yeah.
There is a couple great things that do happen in this movie, though. One, it's the massive Gatakiriba into all of the combos.
Yeah,
which is
is awesome.
So Gatakiriba copies himself to 7 or 8, I can't remember.
8 at this point.
8 forms, and each of the other forms go into the other combo.
Mm-hmm.
So we can have all the combos fighting at once, including Putotira. Which I love how everyone else is like, cool, thanks for all these medals. And that one guy, and just one of them just goes, and just like has a fucking seizure. But that was a cool fight scene.
And of course,
a giant CGI monster.
This is the first time that we get to see Forze.
Yes, this is his first appearance.
I am the man who will befriend all Kamen Riders.
We all know I'm not the biggest fan of Forze, but I love Gentaro. I really do.
He's a fun character.
He's great.
I'm
honestly looking forward to reviewing this show.
I am honestly going to I have actually yet to finish this show. I made it 10 episodes, thought it was dumb, and stopped. I'm going to give this show another shot.
Yay.
So we'll see what happens.
We got a little bit before we got to review it.
Yeah. Which means I got plenty of time to fucking watch it.
It's true.
Yeah. It's one of the shorter ones, though, isn't it?
48, so not
Ish.
really.
Yeah. So one of the shorter ones.
By comparison.
That's cool.
But, power of friendship, motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back to this movie.
Is it said it was mainly because of that meme? I'm going to befriend the shit out of you.
I love that meme. It's so good. But
it's also so accurate.
It's true. This movie is just...
I like it.
It's okay. It's par. Like, for what we want of a...
It's not a bogey. It's not a birdie. It's par.
But I'm not wrong.
Is that a good thing in golf? I don't know.
Par, you mean...
Par's average.
You struck even. But yeah, this movie, I'm just like, it's O's again. And I know that really sours anything that has to do with this show in my eyes. Because as I've said in our main review, I'm just like, on this show. But
because you used to love it.
I never had strong feelings about this show.
I'm going to call bullshit.
You can call bullshit all you want. You'd be wrong. But yeah, this movie is just, it exists for me. I didn't really remember. I watched this last night and I don't really remember much of it other than the massive combo, Berkawani and Forze showing up.
That's one of the biggest things I guess you could say about all three of these movies is that they're very forgettable.
Yeah. It's like, I remember a lot more about the Forze solo movie than anything else. At least from these three shows. Mm-hmm. Especially because, as we all know, that's my favorite Kamen Rider movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I think that wraps up everything that we have to say.
Yeah, I would still, if you're a fan of O's, I would say watch this movie if you haven't. If you are a fan of O's.
Yeah. I'd recommend this. I would recommend the Den-O movie as well.
I wouldn't recommend that.
I wouldn't either. That because, I'm just tired of seeing Den-O.
Yeah,
So,
that.
And he showed up again, and the Zio movie is once again another main character, but all of them showed up instead of just Momotaro's this time.
Oh, goody. Way to stretch that budget. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Follow us on all the things.